We have to make sustainability part of our everyday life.
Waiting to set up to do a scene here, everyone just tucks into these.
So we just peg washing out in an old-fashioned kind of way.
It's so lovely to see like us reaching the goals slowly but surely.
I watch an episode and I see it, you know, it'll be a reusable cup, or it'll be somebody on a bike instead of a car, or it'll be somebody using the recycling bank in terms of recycling clothes. When I'm watching it, even as a production manager, I'm always thinking, okay, what else can we do?
I think actors can help in a sustainable set and storyline. It could be something as big as like this, having an allotment on the show with characters coming in and out, and the fact that the produce you can actually eat and use.
So it all stemmed from when his daughter died about 3 years ago. She was murdered. So it was a massive shock, and she went through all sorts of, you know, emotional turmoil. So I think the application of effort to creating new life and growth, it really sort of helped him. When little things like the allotment, if people are seeing that in their living rooms every single night, and they just pick up on little details of, you know, vegetable growing, or just even thinking like, where does my food come from?
What people don't always realise is that allotment actually is used for produce to feed our cast and crew as well.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff here. We've got some beetroot, some carrots. Here we go. Yeah, but we're waiting to set up to do a scene here. Everyone just tucks into these.
We have a green team, and there's representatives from all different departments, so I'm part of the cast reps. We meet every month and we discuss any ideas we might have, both on and off screen. So things like in makeup, we use all reusable, sustainable products. We try and meet and come up with ideas, but normally the writing team will put something in the script. So it'll be a stage direction maybe of an eco wash, or putting out the recycling, something like that.
The green team is really, really important to keep us focused so that we can keep up with our green pledge, so that we can hit those commitments by 2030, and that we're keeping it fresh in everyone's mind. We've just been at Gare Woods and we've been looking after the trees and things like that with the project with the Leeds University, which has been absolutely brilliant for us to be involved in.
We're quite fortunate really, because we've got a lot of kind of like long-standing characters that have kind of been here quite some time. In the same way that you and I have got a wardrobe, each character has got their own wardrobe, and that kind of covers all bases really. It's got smart, it's got casual, it's got something for everything. Say for example, if we've got kind of like a wedding that's coming up within the realms of the story, we'll look to see what the characters have got that we can kind of reuse. Like I say before, because not everybody is in a situation to be able to afford to go and buy something brand new each time there's an occasion. So we look at kind of what we can reuse. And in terms of kind of sustainability, we're kind of very mindful at the moment, if when we are buying anything new, we're kind of looking to actually see where it kind of comes from, what the company are kind of doing with regard to sustainability, whether they are kind of like a sustainable company. We have a lot of kind of visiting actors that kind of come in, visiting characters we call them, and they could be in from anything from a day to a week to a month and so on and so forth. So once they've kind of finished, we tend to retain their costumes until the episodes have transmitted, and then what we do is we break down the costumes, and anything that we can kind of put back into our main stock, we will kind of put in, obviously allowing for enough time so it's not going to become recognisable as something that somebody else has already worn.
We get sent a document like after every green team meeting, and especially like about our footprint and like the Albert Initiative and like what we're trying to do. And it's so lovely to see like us reaching the goals slowly but surely, like electric cars and vehicles, because we're trying to switch all of our crew vehicles to electric. I didn't really know about before, understand. I feel like it's cluing us all up, and that document is also sent to all departments, so everyone has access to reading that and learning about it. I think like my character, I'm always doing the washing on Eco 20, or the storyline that we recently did for the 50th, which was a severe storm and climate change.
So in the summer months as well, we kind of have a bit of a policy where if the weather's nice, we've got a couple of whirly gigs that are outside the main costume room, so we just peg washing out in an old-fashioned kind of way to just reduce the use of the tumble dryer. So we can often see us with our peg basket.
So we stopped printing all of our scripts, we stopped printing all of our call sheets, and now everybody is on their iPads and things like that. And yes, that is a cost to start off with, but in the long term, these are big impacts that will help. I think there's just always little things that you can be doing, so everybody brings their own mug in, so that we never have these single-use cups, and just always thinking of what sustainable thing can I do. And yes, there will be some big costs that will inevitably cost the production money, but there are little things that you can do, and I think my advice to other productions would be start the journey, see what you can do, and reach out to other people and see what other people have done. There's lots of things that you can do, but then there's also the smaller things as well that I think are really, really important.
So we have got kind of quite a large pool to kind of resource from. There was a recent programme of a friend of mine that was working on something, and they needed court robes. So they got in touch with us, and we kind of like agreed to let them borrow the court robe. So from a sustainable point of view, you're kind of like, you're doing a little bit like that indirect, or somebody will phone me up and say, have you got such and such that we could borrow? And we'll have a look in the stock room and see whether we've got something that kind of meets their brief. And then we'll quite happily lend that item of clothing to them so that they're using it. So therefore it kind of makes the whole thing a little bit more sustainable.
We have an audience reach of over 4 million people, and we have to make sustainability part of our everyday life. We can't undervalue the influence that we have on our audience. That is our commitment, but also it's our responsibility.